Good morning. Just want to do a quick preview video for the Levitt map and ephemera auction. There are several wonderful things and interesting pieces. There are two Truman signed letters from his time in the Senate. And they both reference Pendergast. If you know anything about Kansas City and the machine that was here, Pendergast was the guy who basically got Truman president. There's two letters here, both like I said, Senate paper letterhead, and I'm not sure that she hasn't the backing of TJ, which would J was his Truman, TJ Pendergast, yeah. So those are pretty cool. There's a couple more presidential pieces I'll show you upstairs real quick, but mainly this auction is maps. And here's a little railroad map of Missouri. This is a newer one. It's Missouri Route 40. Black on white, 1928, which is a newer map in this collection, actually. Let me show you the Andrew Jackson. It's basically a land deed signed right there. But there are a lot of atlases in varying states of condition. More over here. And there are a fair amount of framed pieces. Kansas and Nebraska. See, there's a bunch that are matted, ready to be framed. And there's everything from, I think, the Missouri map up there. That big one is probably from the 80s. But then there's this really great looking map of the Missouri River around Napoleon in Lafayette County. I believe this is from 1899. St. Louis, 1900. But just a really cool 1897 there, so 89, but yeah, so the map is 1899, probably printed in 1900. Just love it's hand colored after the fact, obviously, but just the colors are still nice and bold. It has a great patchwork quilt look to it. 1915 map of Kansas City and surrounding territory. This is a really cool Kansas City Park, Boulevard, Street, Railway, and Railway map. Casey Moen, Kansas. I think this is 1893. You can see it had a $1,000 price tag on it back in the day when it was purchased. And I believe that was bought at Spivey's. There's a little map there too, connected with it. Johnson County, Kansas. There's a lot of river maps. Missouri City. What's this? Make sure I don't step in anything. Terminal system of the Kansas City Suburban Belt Railroad. I mean, just a lot of railroad maps, which is kind of cool. You can see all these atlases. I mean, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, different places in those states. Atlas of the City of Kansas, Missouri. Atlas of the City of Kansas, Missouri. Leather tabs that were ripped off. Complete set of survey and plats and properties of the City of Kansas, Missouri. That's so cool. This has got to be 1886. I wonder, I need to look at this one. This is going to have our old office on it, or in it. I want to look through this map book later on, maybe. This should have our old office building in it. This is 1886. Anyway, survey and plats of City of Kansas, 1886. This looks like again, I was just rebound, so the same one. Kansas from 1887. There are some reprints. These are 3 reprints here, but we're selling them together. This is a cool map piece here. It's not a map, obviously. It's the history of the world. It's dated 1665. Just really incredible iconography and imagery on there. And
I'll find it. You
look like you were there already.
No.
Anyway, yeah, so we have boxes of papers and ephemera. Really cool. A lot of times we see like a paper from the 1951 flood. There's an entire series like a dozen days in a row of different things. Hughes's Views of Kansas City, 1896. What is this? Oh. Okay, so this is, looks like pages from a book. Tonganoxie, new map of the state of Missouri. A lot of Missouri, obviously, a lot of Kansas, because we're here in Kansas City, and they had a lot of regional and local pride. Kansas City bids you welcome. Heart of America. A lot of interesting paperwork and ephemera. And the groups of these, like these are all, groups of maps and books. Transportation map and guide. Some really fun stuff. This little booklet here is getting a lot of interest. Obviously, it's an 1880s souvenir of Kansas City. Some really nice things there. Aeronautical chart from, let's see, there's a date right here. 1939, Kansas City, Missouri, Volume 1A, insurance maps. Kansas City Division map of Missouri River. Just all kinds of, here's a City of Kansas etching. But just a lot of really wonderful pieces. These are reprints, but they're fun Kansas City images. Missouri number 5, diagram of the state of Missouri. More railroad books. There's also some interesting, just weird ephemera. There's a bunch of stuff from the, like the anti-protesting from the 76 Republican Convention in Kansas City here. More posters than anything. And then some other miscellaneous pieces there. More early engravings and etchings. This is, I believe, a German map of Missouri. Kansas City's not even listed on this because it didn't exist. That's the crazy thing about looking at this. Kansas City is such a new city in Missouri's history. It's not until like the 1840s that it starts to show up on maps. This is a cool thing, the Dymaxion Sky Ocean World. Fuller, our Buckminster Fuller and Shoji Sada. The Cartographers. This is a pretty rare map / poster. And we have the explainer sheet with it as well. This is online for a couple $1,000s in a couple of places, so something to take a closer look at for sure. Look at Louisiana, New Mexico, New Navarre. California is just the Baja, New Albion, Western Atlantic Ocean. Again, another $1,000 price tag on this. It's a 1790 R Stackhouse, or T Stackhouse, June 1790. But I mean, there's just there's not much on here because there just weren't that many people. Eskimo country, New South Wales, North Wales, Hudson Bay. Just, some really good early maps, cartography. And there's still stacks on the, not still, but there's stacks on the tables here that, we just don't have space to display everything right now as we work on other projects as well. Another good looking map of Kansas City and 15 miles surrounding it. Windward Islands, Kansas City and vicinity. Again, there's just a lot. There's 240 lots or so in the auction. Did you find us? Is this place on there? No, this is 1900s. So that wouldn't be.
Yeah, and that doesn't go further down.
Topographical map of the road from Missouri to Oregon. So it's the Oregon Trail, but this is just section 1. It's basically from here in Kansas City to where the Pawnee Indians are, obviously. Oh, here's the other presidential piece. It's a Franklin Delano Roosevelt letter, but the ink or the type that he typed it on has faded so much that you can see the impression in the paper, but the ink has faded. But Roosevelt's signature is still very strong. And again, it's on executive chamber letterhead, governor letterhead, as opposed to presidential, so kind of interesting. Illinois, Missouri, by Tanner. Just another good engraving. So again, if you like maps, history, things like that, atlases, this is a really spectacular auction. And I know there's going to be some deals in here just because of the quantity and there's not repetition. I don't like dozens of the same one, but there's a lot of Kansas City maps, so people are going to fixate on one or two that they like, and then we have 20 or 30 of them. There's going to be some deals there, so make sure you take a look through. These will make great gifts, Christmas, birthdays. You have somebody who's becoming an attorney or has an office, likes Kansas City history. What fabulous gifts. Oh, I forgot to mention this original from Harper's Weekly, 1859, baseball match at the Elysian Fields in Hoboken, New Jersey. One of, if not the earliest published images of the game of baseball. And with the playoffs going on right now, it's kind of a good reminder of that game's been around for 160 years, give or take. So kind of a neat piece there. This is actually half of the sheet that was originally here. There was a cricket match on top as well, but they just cut out the baseball image because we're American. We like baseball. We don't know anything about cricket, is my guess. But anyway, a lot of really cool stuff. Thanks, Damien. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them down below. I'll try and answer them as, we're going to cut this video off in just a second. But yeah, it's just a really fun auction. A lot of interesting pieces all the way throughout. If you're a collector, dealer, whatever, just curious and interested in history, just a really fun thing to look through. Oh, and let's see. Washington Avenue, 11th Street, and we are right there. Wait a minute. Oh. So, Amy, this is before the place in the corner became a hotel.
Yep.
Wow. So we're actually the third property in there. These two were combined into one and became the hotel.
Oh, is that?
That's the way I understood it, yeah.
Oh, well, the lot doesn't look big enough.
That's got to be it, though. So yeah, as I understand it, these two properties were combined to become the one, what was the hotel on the corner that was United Way and now is Quality Hill Academy? The school next door. And then this third property is what we had our office in for, oh gosh, 6-7 years. That's really cool to see that so soon after that was built. I mean, it's 1880, what's 87, looks like, Amy?
The map's 87.
Yeah.
70.
So this is 77. This is 10 years after that property was built, was when this map was done. That's really cool. If we're still in the old building, I'd have to buy it just for that map. But again, that's one of the great things about maps and genealogy and all that stuff. When you start digging into history, you find those really cool connecting points that you just didn't expect to find. So again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Either send us a message here, direct message, post a comment. You can always reach us at 816-283-3633. Drop us an email at info@kcauctioncompany.com. Auction is Monday night for the maps. We also have a really great moving auction online right now with good newer furniture, ping pong table, game room pieces, and things like that. And then the last of the wood blocks. The estate, the timeline got moved up on us, and we talked to the estate. They said we just got to sell them. So we're selling between 30 and 60 wood blocks in singular groups. So check out our current auctions. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have anything you want us to sell or talk to about selling, also reach out to us and we'll be happy to take a look. Have a great afternoon, have a great weekend, and good luck on the auction Monday.